Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Rimworld. Last episode we had a jade dragon coming into our map right at the end, which of course we cannot have, so we are going to banish the dragon for now. However, there is something I would like to do, which is actually have a dragon of my own. Like, what's the point of this mod if you don't actually have and raise your own dragons, right? So to do that, we are going to need Roxy to come home, and we are going to have to train her. Roxy is, if I check her info and bio, she is our best animal handler with a handling skill of 15. And at that skill level, she is pretty close to becoming a good candidate to tame a dragon. Now, dragons are extremely difficult to tame, and you will likely need a level 20 handler. Their minimum handling skill is 10, but you do not want to do it with a level 10 handler because it will kill you. It has a 20% chance of attacking on tame fail, which is pretty high, and it definitely attacks on harm. So yeah, we are going to have to get our best chances. If we could get an inspiration, that would be even better, but we'll have to see. So for now we're going to delete this stockpile because people have to go back and forth to cremate things, and we do not want that to happen. Now this is cremate raider corpses, so let's call it that. And this thing is for rotten animals, so let's call it that as well. Anima corpse, yeah, okay, fine. I can tell what it means to say. So this way, things will be cremated over there, and it will work out okay. So the caravan has arrived, which is great. And for the time being, I am going to go ahead and schedule our visitors to stay in the home area. And this is also visitor. And the reason for that is because one of them is actually a decent animal handler. If I come over here and I do this, there we go, that is Pickles. So in case you're thinking I'm, very on top of things, that is because this episode is actually being re-recorded, and some things will have to happen the same way as they have been. Which reminds me that this area, we really need to get some steel rather quickly because we have an Arctic animal who is going to start suffering from heat stroke if the temperature is this high. And that is Gertrude, our seal, whose maximum comfortable temperature is 20 degrees. Right now it's 28 degrees inside, 29 over there. So she is not having a good time. I will not tell you what happened in the first version of this episode that made me realize that there is no point. Anyway, other things that we must do. Well, now that we have the mod Kanban stockpile, we can actually make this chunk stockpile work much better by making it have a similar stack limit of 3. So hopefully that will mean we'll only get 3 chunks of each of the types that are allowed in here, which are, drum rolls please, all of them, but mostly it's going to be granite, limestone, and slate. So yeah, that will be good. We have some weapons here, that's okay. That is all fine. Of course, we're gonna have to go through all of this slate to get there, so yeah. Who has a major break risk? Blade. Yeah, Blade is going to be not great for the time being. I've also realized that Felix has lost his bed, so we are going to give him this one. So that way he won't be sleeping on the floor. He doesn't deserve something like that. Another thing we have that is a problem is this stockpile is preferred, but we want it at normal so that hay and kibble can be brought here by having this one as preferred. We're also going to impose a stack limit, but the maximum one of 8 so that it doesn't fill all the way in with hay. Well, that is a lot of things. We're going to want that cooler up and running as soon as possible so that we can cool down the animals, as I said. Also going to need a lot of granite. And we have a bunch of stuff over here that, well, is things that we must deal with. So I'm going to set these to only refill 20%. That seems reasonable. I'm not sure if this copies... Oh, it does. It does copy the refill threshold. So that's great. Now, Blade is resting, so the major break risk is not a problem. These are our guests. Nothing I can do about their clothes. We need a research project, and I think what we want is not prosthetics, it's bionics. Bionic replacements. So there we go, we're gonna set that to be researched, and in the meanwhile we have also been able to get the electric drug lab, which we do want to get up and running, even though technically we do not have the materials to create medicine. What we will do is deconstruct this because it's not going to be necessary as soon as we have our drug lab. I will eventually expand the storehouse to mirror this side so that, you know, everything has the stockpiles as they need, but not right now because we do have a lot of other building projects that are happening. And on that note, I am going to increase some construction. So Michael, I'm going to put everyone on research because whatever. I'm going to increase Michael's construction, Garrett's, yeah, that will be okay. I'm going to also add these two to it. Maybe a little higher. Yeah, so this way they can help. We have a lot of gifts, none of which are very good, but we did make a prosthetic arm, and if I look through our people, there we go. Marcus needs that prosthetic arm. Eventually it will be bionic, but for now it will be just a prosthetic, and I'm going to have him rest until healed. And I think we need an eye for Felix. That's fine. Yeah, and everyone else is doing okay. The visitors could use better prosthetics, but that's okay. Pickles wishes to join our faction, so let's take a look at Pickles. He was our tamer. If you remember, he is abrasive, which could be bad, but not really. He could be... oh, he would be excellent in melee. And he's a good builder, animals crafting. We do need more dedicated crafters. So even though he cannot really research when he's down, we are going to accept it. Now, Pickles does not have a patron or someone who wants a character named after them to name him. So if you want that, well, please do tell me. For now, we are going to make sure that Pickles has a good work priority. So that will be just the same things as everyone else. He will be... yeah, his thing will be crafting. And he will be on 2 on other stuff. 3 on others. Well, not hunting, because he won't have a ranged weapon. But everything else is fine. If he can get some mining or plant cutting done, I would not mind that, but hopefully he will just be crafting. So his schedule is fine, I think. Yes, so he can now be unrestricted. Although he is a tamer, so no, I guess I'll keep him restricted. That way Roxy can be the one to tame things. As for his assignment, he is indeed a crafter, so that's fine. I'm going to remove his... okay, surgery uses best medicine. Sure. Can we drag this one? No. Okay, this seems to be a thing that I want for everyone, but fine. So we're going to allow all except armor. Yeah, then that will do it, and we're gonna keep the general flavors thingy. So that is his outfit. He's going to be a crafter for now. Marcus and Garrett should also perhaps get something, but yeah, I'll probably do that at some other point. Him, I want him to be, well, not ranged, melee. I want him to be a melee fighter. And, well, nothing else. Now we're gonna want some wildlife, and we're going to want some... well, some boomalopes, really, because we want things with a low revenge on tame fail, so that we can get them far more safety. Boomalopes will also give us chem fuel, which will be useful later, and perhaps... well, no, it's mostly gonna be later, when we're going to make our own mortar shells and stuff. So yeah, those will be handy. What else do we want? I think that is it for now for Pickles, because he will be staying inside. When we have a raid or something, it will be different. This is not connected to the correct thing. We have a bunch of turrets here. We're gonna have more once we once we have more plasteel. So there's our first boom rat. I'm going to send it to animals. There we go, and as you can see, milk fullness, that milk is actually chem fuel, and it will be brought in. So let's take a look at this letter, which, by the way, I do have the letter reorder mod, which wasn't working last episode. That is because I had to come here to Rimworld, options, and disable compressed notifications. And now it works with, well, only one notification. There's really no point, but yeah. So you detect a massive energy signature. It seems like a ship reactor is starting up somewhere nearby. It's probably defended, might attract other enemies too. The ship will be defended by at least 30 defenders, 6 mortars and some turrets. Yeah, we're definitely not wanting to mess with that. But this is basically giving us the other side perspective on the ship reactor event. And I'm pretty sure it's added by a mod. Yeah, go explore. It would be nice if it was vanilla, but no, that's a mod adding that simple and quite logical event. Because you think if there's one faction trying to leave the planet, that there would be more of them. Especially with orbital trade ships coming and going. So yeah, so that is what I have for right now, and I'll bring you back when something else happens. Speaking of animals and taming, a group of German shepherds abandoned or lost have wandered into the area. So I guess we now have a bunch of German shepherds. We are going to add them to our animal stuff. We're gonna make sure they get trained. And we're going to release these 2 Arctic wolves so that they can become useful to the colony with their hauling and hunting skills. So yeah, there's one that still needs to be trained, but that's fine. Hopefully everything will be trained. I also added more animal beds because, well, we are getting a lot of animals and not enough beds for them. But that is what it is. We're just gonna let that happen. Over here the cooler is finally done, and I am going to decrease it all the way to 15 degrees, so that way Gertrude can come recover from heat stroke. The Arctic wolves, despite being an Arctic animal, do not have that issue. They, if I look at them, like over here, can I select one? Yes, I can. Their maximum comfortable temperature is actually 40 degrees Celsius, That is a lot, and I would not expect that from something as thick-coated as an Arctic wolf. But anyway, in case there's hypothermia or heat stroke, this should be, well, mostly heat stroke to be honest, because the heat is being vented out. But anyway, this part should be safe for them. It should also keep the hay a little bit fresher, though I could go all the way down to refrigerated, which I think might be under 10 degrees. Yeah, it is under 10 degrees that it becomes refrigerated, but this one cooler is unlikely to be able to maintain that. With 34 degrees outside, yeah, it's not going to maintain it. But we'll keep it ticking along. Let's go all the way down to 8. That might keep it going a little bit longer, maybe 7. Yeah, that way it does get to refrigerated. Let's go all the way down to 5. That should help with the temperature fluctuation. Inside, it still says refrigerated, and that is what matters. So everyone is comfortable there, and I'll bring you back when something else happens. We finally have an actual event for this episode. A pack of manhunting red foxes have entered the area. Stunned silence. That is a lot of red foxes. Okay. So we're going to activate emergency mode and toggle on this power switch. But since we have new colonists, we're just going to go ahead and copy combat policy of, I think Blade has a good one. And we're gonna give it to Pickles. And the other visitors as well. Voltina and... oh, Blitz already has Bullet. There we go. So these will be combat policies. Schedule, they also need to stay in the inside base area, not the home. Not that, and they need to not have a schedule. Assignment. Soldiers, everyone, including you. You know, you are a brawler, actually. You and Felix are both brawlers. No, Brawler should actually have allow all. And yeah, we mostly want the stat priorities here, not exactly the type of clothes they're wearing. They're also gonna want, since it's an emergency, I'm going to set them all to fight back. Weapons, there's nothing there. No animals, combat, everything needs to be under safety, including the wolves and whatnot. So that is good, I think. Let's let this run, hopefully. Can you just flick the dang switch? I need to clean the sand. Hopefully we will get a lot of bang for our buck with just the turrets. Leatha already has some armor on, so I'm going to make her prepare and get in line. Some of them are going to avoid traps for now because the kill box is not completely done. But other than them, we should be able to get things going. Felix, you are gathering hay to hauling inventory. That means you can get over here. And Pickles, you are also hauling, so get over here. Now, hopefully the foxes are weak enough that they won't overwhelm our defenses too much. But in case they do, we are getting people in. There we go. And making sure they fight and the turrets do their thing. We want Sage, please come in. Michael is gonna come here, Roxy, and Garrett. Oh, Felix and Pickles are not having a good time in this one. Yeah. So we're gonna have to see how this ends. Fortunately, the visitors also got into it, so yeah. Oh, poor Pickles. Michael, I am going to need you to... I think you can do that. There we go. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we did get all the foxes. Look at this destruction. Perhaps in the future we'll make this area of the kill box even longer by giving it another layer. But for now, that is what we are doing. Now, Felix and Pickles, they better come and rest as soon as possible. Everything else, Sage, once you are done there, please rescue Ostrich. I think there was a second visitor in that mess, but I can't exactly tell because it's hard to see what's going on in there. Well, that was okay. They almost overwhelmed our defenses, which to me means that we need more turrets, to be honest. But yeah, this is what we have for the time being. Perhaps more traps would not be a bad idea. And well, now I have to remake the traps. Fortunately, the corpses are right there to let me know where they should be remade. So that's neat. But yeah, so everyone will recover. And before I end the episode, I do want to just do one more thing. So Garrett over here is always in serious pain. And that is because he has a stab scar that is very painful in his right leg, itch in his right eye, which we'll replace with a bionic. But the right leg right now is, yeah, it's very painful. So we want to install a prosthetic leg. Yes, it will affect his movement. His moving won't be as efficient, but I think it's worth it because Garrett is one of those pawns that's always near a mental break, and the pain thing is a big part of it. Right now it's not because he has been anesthetized. And there we go, we have a prosthetic leg already. So he is fine right now. Blade also has a constant break, but his pain is not too big. It's mostly a lack of positive boons and his sister having died. Nothing much you can do about that, except letting it expired. We do have a quest. Constantia is having trouble landing near us because she has bugs and she wants to throw them to us. We will be taking this because the rewards are pretty good, but not this episode. That will be for the next one. So if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. That helps me out a lot. And if you really enjoyed it, consider supporting me on Patreon. But until next time, remember that here, there be dragons. Thank you so much to my patrons for making this channel possible. Click the Patreon logo to become one of these fine folk. And if you enjoyed the video, here are some more YouTube things you would like. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.